starting
now.
recording
I'm going
now.
to upload this
I'm going to
also.
upload this also.
So typography and
So
layout.
typography and
Right?
layout.
Typography is the art
Typography
and
is the
technique
art
of
and
arranging
technique
type
of arranging type
to make written
to make
language
written
legible,
language legible,
readable, and
readable,
appealing.
and
So
appealing.
it involves
So
choosing
it
the right
involves choosing
typeface,
the right typeface,
adjusting font
adjusting
size,
font size,
line
line
spacing, and letter
spacing,
spacing,
and
and
letter
arranging
spacing, and
text
arranging
to
text
create a
to create
visually
a
engaging
visually
design.
engaging design.
Please, somebody, your mic is
Somebody,
on.
your
Put
mic
it
is
off.
on. Put it off.
Oh my God. Wow. Whenever you join a meeting, please put off your
Whenever
mic.
you join a meeting, please put off your
Please.
mic. Please.
This video is being
This video is
recorded.
being recorded.
Upload it now.
Upload
Against
it now.
technical issues.
Against
It's not
technical
proper.
issues. It's not proper.
So typography is the
So
art, like we
typography
said.
is
So
the
it's a
art,
form of
like you
art.
said. So it's a
So
form of art.
the way we have
So
graphic
the way we
designers,
have
there are
graphic
people that
designers, there are people that
they are designers, but
they
their
are
own job
designers, but their own
is to
job
design
is to
fonts
design
also.
fonts.
Right, so
Also,
they design
right?
letter
So they
A to
design
Z,
letter A
1
to
to
Z,
3 to
1 to
10,
3 to
all
10,
the fonts you
all
have on
the
your keyboard.
fonts you have on your
Right,
keyboard.
so
Right?
those
So
fonts do not
those
come
fonts
out
do not come
magically. So
out
it's somebody
magically. So
that
it's
designed
somebody
them.
that designed
Right.
them.
To some people, they are
So
just
some people
font
they are just
designers. You can
font
find them
designers. You can find
online.
them
Right.
online.
There's a guy, I
Right?
think his name is
There's a guy, I
Leslie
think his name is
Williams,
Leslie
whether he
Williams,
creates
whether
fonts
he
also.
creates fonts
So
also.
they are
So
also fun. That's
they
why
are also
when
fun.
we
That's
get
why
fonts,
when we get fonts,
if you install
if you
Corel Draw,
install
most
Corel
times
Draw, most
you would
times
see free
you will
fonts
see
that come
free
with them,
fonts that come with them.
right? But
Right?
also there are
But
sometimes you
also
have to
there are
like
sometimes you
download
have to like
fonts
download fonts
online, right?
online.
You just have to
Right?
Google the
You
name
just
of
have
the
to Google
font,
the
you
name of the
download it, and
font,
then
you
you
download
install
it,
it on
and
your
then you
PC.
install it on your
Then you
PC.
can work on the
Then you can
project
work
with
on the
it.
project with it.
All right, so there are some
Alright, so
fonts that are
there are
free
some
to
fonts
use,
that are free
while
to
some
use,
are also
while
paid.
some are also paid.
So we said
So
typography is an
we said
art,
typography is an
right? And
art,
also a technique
right?
of
And also a technique of
arranging type,
arranging
that
type,
is arranging
that is
text
arranging text
to make written
to
language
make written
legible. So
language
when we say
legible. So
legible,
when we say
people should
legible,
be able to read
people
it.
should be able
So
to read it.
fonts
So
like this,
fonts
people
like
can
this,
see it and
people
read
can
and
see it
understand.
and read and understand.
And
And
appealing. So it's
appealing.
not
So
only
it's not
just being
only
able to
just
read the
being able
font,
to read the
is
font,
the font
is the
also
font
appealing to
also
the eyes.
appealing to the eyes.
All right.
Right?
Then it
Then
involves
it
choosing the
involves
right
choosing the right
typefaces.
typefaces.
So it's not
So
every
it's not
font
every
that is
font
good
that is
for
good for
typing body of
typing
letter.
body of
It's
letter.
not every font that
Not
is
every
good for
font that
like
is good
making
for
it a
like
header.
making it a header.
Right. So there are
Right?
fonts
So
that
there are
work
fonts
for
that work for
specific kind of
specific kind
designs.
of designs.
Right. And
Right?
also it
And
also have
also
to
it
do
also
with
have to do
the
with
font
the
size,
font size,
line
line
spacing, letter
spacing, letter
spacing,
spacing,
and
and
arranging text to
arranging
create a
text
visually
to create
engaging
a
design.
visually engaging
So here's
design.
our
So
guideline.
here's our
Understanding the
guideline.
fundamental of
Understanding the
typography
fundamental of
is
typography
essential for
is
effective
essential
graphic
for
design.
effective graphic
So
design.
now we'll go
So
into the
now we'll go into the
principles of
principles
typography.
of typography.
So the first
So the
principle
first
is
principle is
typefaces and
typefaces
font.
and font.
Typefaces and font.
Typefaces and
So
font.
people
So
normally
people
sometimes
normally sometimes
have difficulty
have difficulty
in understanding
in
what is a
understanding what is a
typeface
typeface
and what
and
is
what
a
is
font.
a font.
Typefaces and font.
Typefaces
So you have
and
to
font.
differentiate
So you
them
have
for
to
you to
differentiate
understand
them
them.
for you to understand
So
them. So
typefaces
typefaces
are
are
the different
the
styles
different
of
styles of
letters,
letters.
while fonts are specific
Why fonts
variations
are specific
of those
variations
styles.
of those
So
styles.
let me
So
explain it this way.
let me explain it this way.
So let's say
So
in
let's say
Nigeria
in Nigeria
we have
we have
states,
states,
right?
right?
So under those
Under
states,
those states,
we now have
we now
various
have
towns,
various
cities,
towns,
right?
cities,
So
right?
it's the same way.
So it's the
We
same
have
way. We have
typefaces. Now
typefaces.
under
Now under
typefaces we have
typefaces
font.
we have
Why
font.
under this
Why
font
under this
we now
font
have
we now
what we
have
call
what we call
font family.
font family.
So we have what we call the font
So we
family.
have what we call the font family.
Font family. So now let's explain this
Font family.
better.
Now let's explain this better.
So now this font here
So now
currently
this
is
font
area,
here currently
right?
is
The name
area,
of this
right?
font
The name of
is
this
area.
font
Now
is
under
area.
area we have
Now under
area
area
regular,
we have area regular,
we have area
we have
regular,
area regular,
area narrow,
area
area
narrow,
bold,
area
area
bold,
italic,
area
and area
italic,
black.
and area
Now
black.
all these
Now
fonts they
all
have
these
the
fonts
font
they have
family
the
under
font
the area.
family
So
under
if we
the
say
area. So
the
if we
family
say
of area,
the family of area,
how many
how many
branches
people,
are
how
under
many
it? We
branches
have
are under it?
area
We have
regular,
area
area
regular,
italicized,
area
area
italicized,
bold,
area bold,
area
area
italicized bold, area bold,
italicized
even
bold,
area
area bold,
underline.
even area
So you might have
underline.
been
So
conversant
you
with
might
this.
have been
Maybe you
conversant
have been
with
doing
this.
it
Maybe
in your
you have been doing
Microsoft
it
Word,
in your Microsoft
where
Word,
you type
where you
a
type
letter and
a
you
letter
bold
and you
some,
bold
you
some,
italicize
you
some.
italicize some.
Now, what you don't
Now, what
realize
you
that
don't realize
you have
that
been using a
you have been
particular
using a
font
particular
family.
font
So you have not seen when
You have
somebody is
not
typing
seen
a
when
letter,
somebody is typing a letter.
they select a
They
different
select
font
a
for
different
address,
font for
a
address,
different font
a different font
for
for
the header, a
the
different
header,
font
a different
for the
font
body.
for the
We
body.
use a
We
particular
use a
font all
particular
through.
font all
So it's
through.
the same
So
thing
it's the
in
same
design.
thing in
So
design.
sometimes in design, like I told you
Sometimes
yesterday,
in design, like I
we
told you
allow
yesterday,
sometimes
we allow
two fonts
sometimes
at
two
most, or
fonts
maybe
at most,
three,
or maybe
if you are
three.
trying to like
We are
cross
trying to
borders,
like cross
right?
borders,
So
right?
a
So
particular
a
font
particular
family
font
can be
family
used
can
all
be used
through
all through
for a particular
for a
design.
particular
All
design.
right. So
All right.
now let's
So now
break this
let's break these
stuffs into
stuffs
various
into various
segments.
segments.
All right.
All right.
So you
So
understand
you
what
understand what
typefaces we are talking
typefaces we
about.
are talking about.
So I'm going to
So I'm
create
going
like
to
a
create
table
like a table
to explain this
to
better.
explain this better.
All right. So I'm going to create a table to
All right. So
explain
I'm going to
this
create a
better.
table to explain this better.
All right. So first off, I will have
All right. So first off, I will have
typeface.
typeface.
So I'll give you
So
the
I'll give
various
you the
type of
various type of
typefaces
typefaces
that we have.
that we have.
Then
Then
fonts,
fonts,
and then
and then
the font
the
family.
font family.
So I'm going to break the text apart by
So I'm
using
going to
Ctrl
break the
K.
text apart by using Control K.
Right. So this one will be
Right. So
here.
this one will be here.
So under
So
typefaces,
under
we have what we
typefaces,
call
we have what we call
serif font,
serif
sans serif
font,
font,
sans serif
script
font,
font,
script
display
font,
font, and
display
even
font,
signature
and
font.
even signature font.
So I'll be
So
listing their
I'll be
names, and I will get like
listing their names, and I will get
examples
like
that's going to
examples
explain
that's
them.
going to explain them.
So just pay
So
attention
just pay attention
to what I want to do
to
right
what
now.
I want to do right now.
So I said the various fonts we have
So I
are
said the various
sans
fonts we
serif,
have are sans
serif,
serif, serif,
script, and then
script, and
display.
then
So
display.
what kind of fonts
So
are
what
sans
kind of
serif
fonts
fonts?
are
What
sans serif fonts?
differentiates these
What
fonts
differentiates
from each other?
these
How do
fonts
you see a
from
sans
each other?
serif
How
font?
do you see
And
a
you know
sans
that,
serif
oh,
font?
this is a sans serif
And you know
font.
that, oh,
How do
this
you
is a sans
see a
serif font.
script font and you
How
say,
do you see a
oh, this
script
is a
font and
serif
you say,
font?
oh, this is a serif
So
font?
there are elements you're
So
going to
there are
see
elements you are going to
in
see
the
in
fonts,
the
and you would know that,
fonts,
oh, this
and you
is
would know
a
that,
serif
oh,
font.
this is a
So
serif font.
we'll
So
start with
we will start
a
with
sans serif font,
a
or
sans
let's
serif
start with the
font,
serif
or
first.
let's start with the
So there's
serif
the
first.
spelling
So there's the spelling
Seref.
Seref.
That's my keyboard being slow. So we have serif,
We have serif.
and we have
We have
sans serif.
sans serif.
What is going on? And script.
And script.
Here we go. Script. So these three fonts are like the major
So these
ones,
three fonts are like the
right?
major
And
ones,
you can like
right? And you can like
break every other font
break
under
every
them,
other font
right?
under them,
Both display font,
right?
both
Both display font,
signature font,
both
as the
signature
like
font,
may be. So I will
as the
add, maybe I
like
will
may
add
be.
those
So
extra two at the
maybe I
ending.
will add those
All
extra
right.
two at the
So
ending. Right.
I
So
said, what is a sans serif font?
I
How
said,
do you know a
what
sans
is a
serif
sans
font?
serif font? How
What
do you know a sans
differentiates them?
serif font? What differentiates them?
So a serif
So
font
a serif font
have like extra
have like
antennas at their end.
extra antennas at their end.
So I'm going to show you an
So
example of a serif
I'm going to
font.
show you an
First
example of
off,
a serif font. First off,
so an example of a serif font
so an example
is a very popular one that
What the
everybody knows,
serif
which is
font
Times New
is
Roman.
the very popular one
Right?
that
You might
everybody
have
knows,
used
which is
that before.
Times New Roman. Right? You
Times
might
New
have used
Roman.
that before. Times New Roman.
That is a
That
particular
is a
example of a serif
particular
font.
example of
So
the serif
if you
font.
look at this,
If you look at this,
we wrote font here and wrote font here.
we wrote
If you look at two
font
of
here
them,
and
you will
wrote
see
font
a
here. If you
distinct
look at two
between two
of
of
them,
them,
you'll see a
which is that
distinct between two of
this
them,
particular
which is
one
that this
is
particular
just
one
simple and
is
plain,
just simple
right?
and plain,
No
right?
extra, no
No
extra
extra,
antenna or
no
designs around it.
extra antenna or
So this
designs
other
around it.
font, you will see
So
like
this
extra
other font,
antennas
you will
at
see
the
like
edge. If you
extra
check them
antennas
out,
at the edge. You
there
check
are
them out.
extra antennas even
There
on
are
the
extra
N and the
antennas
T,
even on
except
the
for the
N
O.
and the T, except for the O.
So a serif font
So
always
a
have this
serif font
extra stuff,
always have this
right?
extra
So
stuff.
let's say you're working on a
So
particular
let's say
project
you're
and the
working
client
on a
say
particular project and the
we would
client
want
say,
you to use
we
a
would
serif
want you
font.
to use a
So an
serif
easy way to
font.
spot a
An
serif
easy way
font
to spot a
are
serif
fonts
font
that have these
are
extra
fonts that
edges.
have these
They have these
extra
extra
edges.
edges
They have
around
these
them. So
extra
that is what we
edges
call a
around them.
serif
So
font.
that is what we call
But when
a
you're talking
serif
about a
font.
sans serif font,
When you're talking
a
about a
sans
sans
serif
serif
font
font, a
is
sans serif
just
font
plain,
is just plain,
right? Sans serif font does not have strokes at the end
right?
of its letter
Sans serif
form.
font does not have
So sans
strokes
serif
at the
form
end of its letter
fonts are
form.
more
So sans
modern,
serif
right? Their
fonts
appearance
are more
are
modern,
often
right?
used. So
Their
if you check
appearance
like
are often used.
most
So if you
brands
check like
redesign, like
most
people are
brands
saying that design is
redesign,
going
like people are
towards
saying that design is going
minimalistic
towards
kind of designs. If you watch
minimalistic kind
even
of designs.
Airbnb,
Watch even
most of them
Airbnb,
Microsoft,
most of them
Twitter,
Microsoft,
the fonts that they
Twitter,
use in writing
the
their
fonts
name
that they
are
use in
everyone is kind
writing
of
their
looking
name.
like similar,
Everyone is kind of
because
looking like
most
similar
brands are
because
tilting
most
towards
brands are
sans serif
tilting
fonts,
towards
whereby the
sans
font
serif
is
fonts,
just
whereby
plain.
the font is
Once
just
you see
plain.
it,
Once you see
you
it,
can recognize the
you
letter
can
F, letter
recognize the
O,
letter
N,
F,
T
letter
without
O,
much
N, T
designs on it,
without much
just
designs
plain.
on
So
it.
those kind of
Just
fonts
plain. So those
they are
kind of
using
fonts,
like
they are
modern
using
kind
like
of designs.
modern kind of
But when we are
designs.
going
But when we are
tilting towards
going
serif
tilting
font, the
towards
future
serif fonts,
strokes
the future
at
strokes
the end
at
of
the
the letter.
end
So these
of the
strokes are
letter. So
referred
these
to as
strokes are referred
serifs,
to as serifs,
right? So
right? So
I think the idea
I
was
think
from
the
like,
idea
let's
was
say
from like,
you
let's
might have
say
had the
you
word
might have had the word
sheriffs, right?
sheriffs,
So
right?
like sheriffs
So
that
like
put on
sheriffs
like
that
a
put
police
on like
cap
a police
extra.
cap
So when
extra.
they bend the cap
So
to
when they
the
bend the cap to
side,
the
so if you look at this
side, so
font,
if you look at this
they are kind
font,
of bent.
they are
So
kind
you
of
see like
bent.
extra
So you
stuff
see like extra
bending
stuff
across them.
bending
So that's why
across
you
them.
point
So
out
that's why you
this is
point
a
out
serif font
this is
and
a
this is
serif
a
font and this is
sans serif
a
font.
sans serif
Now,
font.
if you're talking about
Now, if you're
script,
talking about script,
so
so
what is a
what is a
scripted font?
scripted font?
So script fonts most times they are kind of like uh, stylish. They are
Stylish.
looking.
They are
Most times
looking.
you will see them
Most
on
times
like
you see them
wedding
on like
cards.
wedding cards.
Maybe they want to
Maybe
like
they want
put
to like
like the
put like
wedding,
the
the people that are
wedding,
getting
people that are
married
getting
name.
married
So
name.
I'll give you like an
I'll give
example
you
of
like
the
an
script
example
font.
of the
So
script
I
font.
won't just be
Right? I
saying
won't
it.
just be saying it.
So you get to like understand
So you
what I'm
get to
saying
like
properly.
understand what I'm saying properly.
So let's check inside our
Let's
fonts.
check inside our
So
fonts.
like I said, there are
Like I said,
numerous
there are
fonts in
numerous
here.
fonts
So you can see one
in
already.
here.
This one,
So you
type
can see
upright.
one already. This one, type
You can see how it's
upright.
looking. So this is
You can
what
see
we
how
call
it's
like a
looking.
script
So this is
font.
what we call like
But
a
I wouldn't
script
use that.
font.
Let's look for
But we
another
don't use that. Let's look
one
for
that's still a bit
another font that's still a bit
nice. So you will see all these
nice.
fonts here.
So you will see
If you
all these
check
fonts
them,
here.
they are all
If you check
divided
them, they
into
are
this
all
kind of
divided into
fonts.
this kind of
Either you are
fonts.
a script
Either you
font,
are a
or you are a
script
serif
font,
font,
or you are a serif
or you are a
font,
sans serif font.
or you are a
Even
sans serif
when you are
font.
talking about
Even
display
when you're talking
fonts,
about display
display
fonts,
fonts are like fonts that
display
are
fonts are like
huge,
fonts that
very
are
big.
huge,
So let's
very
say you are
big.
creating like maybe a
So let's
movie
say you are
poster,
creating like maybe a movie
you will go
poster.
for like a display
You will go
font.
for like
And most
a
of these
display
fonts,
font.
let's say
And most
I
of these
come in
fonts,
font
let's say
families.
I come
So
in
some of
font
them
families.
also have
So some of
display
them
inside
also
them,
have display inside
right?
them, right?
Let's use this.
Let's use this.
I think embassy.
Embassy.
So you see,
And so you
when we
see,
use
when
capital
we use
caps,
capital
all caps
caps
for
or caps
serif and
for
even for sans serif,
serif and even for
we
sans
could
serif, we
appreciate
could
the font well.
appreciate the
Now,
font well.
when using a
Now,
script
when
font,
using a
it is
script
better
font,
you
it is
use only
better
the
you
first letter
use only the
as
first letter
capital letter,
as capital
right?
letter,
And the others
right?
should
And
be
the
in small
others
letters.
should be in
You
small
see the
letters.
difference now if I
You see
should
the
type
difference now if I should type
ONT in small
ONT
letters.
in small letters.
Can you see that?
Can you see that?
So now that is in
So
small
now
letter, we
that
can
is in small
appreciate
letter,
the
we can
font better.
appreciate the font
So
better.
when using a
So
script
when
font,
using
it
a
is
script font, it
advisable
is
that you
advisable
make
that you
only the
make
first
only
letters
the first letters
bold.
bold,
I say bold,
say bold,
capital letter.
capital
The
letter.
others should be
The others
in
should be
smaller
in
form.
smaller
You
form.
don't use
You
them
don't use
like
them
that,
like
right?
that,
So
right?
where can
So
you
where
use
can you
a
use
serif
a
font?
serif font?
So we can
So
use
we
serif
can use
font for
serif font
elegant
for elegant
designs, fancy
designs,
designs,
fancy designs,
sometimes even modern,
sometimes
but
even
you have to
modern,
like
but you have to
merge
like
them together.
merge
Let's say you
them
are
together.
merging
Let's say you are
a serif
merging
font
a serif
and
font
a
and
script font
a script
together.
font together.
So
So
Please, I can hear your voice without the screen.
all right, but my screen
all
is still
right,
being shared though.
but my screen is still
Is
being
there any other
shared.
person not seeing the
Is there any
screen?
other person not seeing the screen?
It just come up now. I've seen it now.
It's your network.
It's your network.
It is your network. So all right,
It's your network. So all
like
right.
I said
Like I said,
serif fonts are
serif
plain.
fonts are plain.
Sans serif, they have extra
Sans
stroke at their edge,
serif, they have
right?
extra
Why
stroke at their
the
edge,
script
right?
fonts they are
Why
more like
the
stylish.
script
They are
fonts, they are
stylish
more like
fonts.
stylish. They
So
are
we
stylish
can still
fonts.
expand
So we
typefaces
can still expand
so
typefaces
large up to the
so
extent where we
large up
said
to the
we
extent where
still
we
have
said
even
we still have even
display fonts, right?
display
And I also
fonts,
said
right?
handwritten
And I also
fonts.
said
So
handwritten fonts.
but all these
So
fonts we can still
for all these fonts, we can
generalize them
still
or place
generalize
them
them
under
or
serif,
place them
sans
under
serif and
serif,
script,
sans
because these
serif
three
and
like
script.
they are
Because
the
these three, like,
major kind
they
of
are the
fonts.
major
Let's say for
kind of
instance
fonts.
now
Let's say, for instance, now
this area
this
is
area
a serif font,
is a
right?
serif font, right?
So under font family I can come in
So
here and
under
look for,
font family, I
instead
can
of
come
just
in
normal
here and look
area,
for, instead of just normal
I'll look for
area,
Arial black.
I'll look for area black.
So this area black is
So
under
this area
font,
black is
under
under
serif
font,
font,
under
but we can
serif
use it
font.
as a
But we
display
can use it
font.
as a
Why do
display
we say
font.
display?
Why do
When we
we
say
say
display is
display?
like
When we say
a very
display,
big
display is like
font, fonts
a
that are
very big
bold
font,
that you
fonts
can
that are
see
bold that
immediately,
you can see
right? So if
immediately,
you look at
right?
banners now,
So if you look at
or
banners
maybe a
now,
flyer, you will
or
realize
maybe a
that
flyer,
the
you will
theme
realize
of the
that
program
the theme of the
we use
program,
like fonts that
we
are
use like fonts
bigger,
that
that
are
are clearer,
bigger,
very very
that are
big, and
clearer,
when you
very
see
very
them
big.
you'll be able
And
to
when you see them, you'll be able
recognize
to
them immediately.
recognize them
All right.
immediately.
So
All right.
now I
So
wouldn't put
now
the
I
display. I think
wouldn't put the
for the
display. I
other
think
video I might
yeah,
share that
for the
one
other
also.
video, I might share that one also.
So now let me
So
break
now let me
this
break
font
this
into
font into
various families.
various families.
So when we are not talking
So
about
when we
families,
are not
remember
talking
when I
about
said
families, remember
talking
when
about
I
family, we're
said
talking about
talking about family, we're talking
inside.
about inside.
So let's say I
So let's say
selected
I
area.
selected
I say I
area.
want to use
I say I
area
want
for
to
a
use
particular
area for a
project,
particular
and I
project,
want to use
and
only
I
that
want to
font
use
family
only that font
for
family
that design, for
for
all the
that
design I'm
design,
going
for
to
all the
make.
design I'm going to make.
How can I
How
achieve
can
that?
I achieve that?
I can use
I can
area
use
regular,
area regular,
area bold,
area bold,
area italicized, or
area
area
italicized,
underlined.
or
So
area
let's try
underlined.
it out.
So let's try it out.
So that's why when you are
So
downloading
that's why
fonts,
when you
you
are
try your
downloading
best to make
fonts,
sure
you
that
try your best
you
to
are
make sure that
downloading the
you are
full
downloading
pack.
the full pack.
Or sometimes you might download the font
Sometimes you might download the
and
font
it's not the full
and
pack.
it's not the
So
full
when you
pack.
not check in your
So when you
font
not check in your font
folder, you might just
folder,
be having
you might
only
just
the
be having
normal
only
font
the
instead of
normal
the full
font
pack.
instead of the full pack.
So I'm going to type the name
So I'm going
here.
to type the name here.
So let's see
So let's see
regular,
regular,
uh,
uh,
bold,
bold,
italicized, or let's
italicized,
say italic,
or else italic.
right? So
Right.
under each
So
font,
under each
you
font,
cannot have
you
the
cannot
regular
have
font. When we
the
say
regular
regular, we
font.
mean
When we say regular,
the
we mean
font in its
the
natural
font
form,
in its
in its natural
natural form,
state.
in its
So
natural
you can see
state.
now this
So you can see now
regular
this
bold italic. I wrote
regular
it in
bold italic.
Arial, just
I wrote it
Arial.
in Arial,
So
just
area
Arial.
regular. This is
So
how area
area
regular
regular.
look like.
This is how area
So
regular
let's
look
say I
like.
want to go for
So
area
let's say I
bold.
want to
Let
go
me
for area
highlight
bold.
just the
Let me
bold area.
highlight just the bold area.
I can choose to click
I can
bold
choose to
here,
click bold here,
or I can go into
or I
the
can go
font box
into
and
the
select
font
area
box and
bold,
select area
and you will
bold,
realize that the
and you
bold
will realize that the
will
bold
be more
will be
thicker
more
than
thicker
the normal
than
regular.
the normal
So
regular. So
you can see bold is
you
now
can see
thick.
bold is now thick.
Then for
Then
italic,
for italic,
see the italicized stuff here.
See the italicized stuff here.
So both this regular and
Both
bold
this
and
regular
italic, they are
and
the
bold and
same
italic,
font,
they are the same
right?
font,
But they are
right?
different members of the
But they are
family. So it's
different
just like
members of the family. So it's just
father,
like
mother, children,
father, mother,
brother and
children,
sister.
brother
Okay,
and
let's
sister.
say the
Okay,
father
let's say
is
the
area,
father is
then
area,
the children is
then
regular,
children is
bold
regular,
and italic,
bold
right?
and italic,
So we have
right? So we
short
have short
or firstborn,
or
secondborn,
firstborn,
thirdborn.
secondborn,
I'm trying to
thirdborn.
look for a way
I'm trying to look for
to
a
make you
way
guys really,
to
really
make you
understand
guys
what
really,
I'm
really
talking about.
understand what I'm
So
talking about.
when you are
So
designing,
when you are
so
designing,
instead of
instead of
looking for multiple
looking for
fonts,
multiple
like to
fonts,
be able to
like to be able to
express
express
what you are actually
what you are
designing,
actually
you can
designing.
use just
You
one
can use
font
just one
and
font
then spread it
and then spread it
around the font family,
around the font family,
whereby
whereby
where you have
where
like
you have like
cumbersome words where
cumbersome
they wrote
words,
a lot of
where they wrote
words,
a lot of
you
words.
can decide
You
to
can
use
decide to
a
use
regular
a
font, the one
regular
which is
font,
more
the one which
tinier,
is more
so that
tinier,
it will
so
take
that it will take
space in there.
space in there.
Then where you have
Then
a
where you
word
have
where
a word
it is
where
like a
it is
theme,
like a
or
theme,
let's say our
or let's say
services,
our services,
you make our
you make
services
our
bold.
services bold.
Okay, let's not just say it,
Let's
let's try it here.
let's not just say it, let's try it here.
Let's say our services.
Let's say our services.
So maybe you now list it,
Maybe you
say
now list it, say
let's say maybe the cleaning agency,
let's say the cleaning agency,
cleaning,
cleaning,
washing.
washing.
Is there anything like
Is there
gardening?
anything like gardening?
Whether I don't know, it's
Whether
correct.
I don't know, that's
So
correct.
to
So
differentiate
to
this text now,
differentiate
so
this
remember
text
when I
now,
said
so remember
contrast
when I
in
said
typography?
contrast in
So to
typography?
differentiate this
So to
text, I can
differentiate this text,
highlight
I
our
can highlight
services
our services
and go into
and
area.
go into
Since I'm still
area.
using just area,
Since I'm still using just area,
I can say
I can say
area black
area
instead.
black instead.
Right? So you can see that
Right?
our
So you can see that
services
our
is now
services
different
is now
from the
different
thing we
from
listed under
the
it.
thing we
So
listed
this is
under it.
what the
So
font
this is what
family
the
provides,
font
whereby
family provides,
you are using the
whereby
same
you
font,
are using the
but
same
you can
font,
use different
but
families.
you
So
can use
in a
different
particular
families. So
design, you are
in a
allowed to use a
allowed
particular font. In
to
fact,
use
all the families,
a
the
particular font.
bold,
In
the
fact, all
okay.
the families, the
Right now,
bold is like okay.
we are just using
Right
area,
now,
which I've just
we are
this.
just using
There's a
area
particular
which
font
I've
now
just
I'm
this.
going to use,
There's a
which is
particular font now I'm
Gilroy.
going to use, which is Gilroy.
Right. So if you check inside of
So if you
Gilroy,
check
you will
inside
find
of Gilroy, you will
Gilroy
find
bold,
Gilroy bold,
a lot of
a
um,
lot of
font family.
font family.
Right. So
Right.
you just
So you
allow it to load.
just allow it to load.
Will you simply
Will
obey me?
you simply obey me?
Oh my gosh. So if you look in here, you see from
If you
Gilroy
look in here, you
Team,
see from Gilroy
Gilroy
Team,
Light, Gilroy
Gilroy
Bold,
Light,
Gilroy Steady
Gilroy
Bold,
Bold,
Gilroy
Gilroy
Bold,
Steady Bold, Gilroy Bold,
Gilroy Heavy
Gilroy
Black too.
Heavy Black
All
too.
every font
Or
inside
every
here
font
is
inside
a
here is
Gilroy
a
font.
Gilroy font.
So
So
under Gilroy
under
font family,
Gilroy
we can
font
now
family,
select
we can now
various
select
other fonts. As you can
various
see,
other fonts. As you can see,
this bold
this
and
bold
italicized here,
and
they are not working
italicized here, they are not
currently for
working
the area. But
currently
for
for the
if it
area.
was
But
area
if it
I was
was
clicking on now, you
area
can
I
see the
was
bold
clicking on
and
now, you can
italicized
see the
working.
bold and
Now it's
italicized working.
because
Now
under
it's
the font
because
family I have
under the
here, I
font
just
family I
have
have
for
here, I
area
just
black,
have for
area
area
bold,
black,
area
area
italicized.
bold,
So
area
definitely
italicized.
it can
So
work from
definitely
here.
it can work
But
from
for
here.
this one,
But for
that
this
is
one,
Gilroy. they have
Gilroy.
a lot
They
of
have a
families.
lot of families.
So you would have to like go
So you would
into
have
your
to like
font box,
go into your font box,
then
then
select what particular
select what
Gilroy you want to
particular
use
Gilroy you
at
want to
that point
use
in time.
at that
So you
point
can't
in
just
time.
select
So you
anyone
can't just
to
select
anyhow.
anyone
You
to
have to
anyhow.
select the one
You have to select the
that is
one
going to
that
like
is going to
speak
like
exactly
speak
about what you're
exactly
doing
about
at that
what
point
you're
in time.
doing at that
So I'll
point in
use
time.
Gilroy
So
extra
I'll use
bold here.
Gilroy extra bold here.
So they
So
help
they
to
help to
differentiate
differentiate
between the
between
texts.
the texts.
All right.
All right.
So
So
that is the
that is
types
the
of
types
fonts.
of
So
fonts.
I've
So
shown you.
I've shown
So
you.
under sans
So
serif,
under sans serif,
an example is Times
an
New
example is
Roman,
Times New Roman,
Camimbra,
Camimbra,
Elephant. You can
Elephant.
find a lot of
You
them.
can
Just
find a lot of them. Just
if you have
if you
your
have
stuff
your
installed, or
stuff
just
installed, or just
Google types of
Google
sans
types
serif
of
fonts.
sans serif
You see
fonts.
a whole lot
You
of
see a
sans
whole
serif
lot
fonts
of sans
which you
serif
can
fonts
use.
which you
Then
can
also
use.
types of
Then also
serif fonts.
types
You
of
see a lot of
serif fonts. You see a
examples.
lot of
And
examples.
maybe you want to use
And maybe
script
you want to
fonts.
use script
You
fonts.
find them.
You find them.
Display fonts,
Display
signature
fonts,
fonts.
signature
So they
fonts.
have various
So they
kind
have
of
various
examples.
kind of examples.
All right.
All right.
So
So
we under
we
typography
under
we still have what
typography
we
we still have
call
what we call
hierarchy.
hierarchy.
All right.
All right.
So
So
what is
what
hierarchy
is
now? How
hierarchy
does
now? How
hierarchy
does
help in
hierarchy
our
help
design?
in our
So
design?
hierarchy is a
So
very
hierarchy is a very
uh,
uh,
core
core
principle
principle
in
in
typography.
typography.
So hierarchy
Hierarchy
creates a
creates
clear
a
visual
clear
hierarchy
visual hierarchy
by varying
by
font
varying
size.
font
So when
size.
we say font
So when we
size,
say
we mean
font size, we
the
mean
size of
size
the
of
font.
font.
How thick is the
How
font?
thick
How
is the
big
font?
is the
How
font?
big is the
All
font?
right.
All
So
right. So
we do hierarchy,
apply hierarchy by
size or by
size or
weight.
by weight.
So we said
So we
either the
said
font
either
is
the
bold
font
or
is
it's
bold
regular,
or it's regular,
and also
and
by
also by
style. So
style.
the kind of
So
style we're talking
the kind
about
of
is either
style we're
it's
talking about is either it's
italicized or it's
italicized or
underlined.
it's underlined.
So
So
you have seen
you have
sometimes
seen
in
sometimes
some
in some
letters, for some
letters,
people to
for some people
emphasize
to
some particular
emphasize some
parts,
particular
they
parts,
will
they will
underline a particular
underline a
letter,
particular
or they
letter,
will make a
or they
particular
will make a
side
particular
red.
side red.
All right. So that
Right.
way,
So that way,
hierarchy has been
hierarchy
what
has been
has been
what
applied.
has been.
So let's say for this now. So if I want to like,
I
okay,
want
let's
to
make
like,
this.
okay, let's
Let's say
make
okay,
this.
maybe this
Let's
is
say
the
okay,
Premier
maybe
League
this is the
table.
Premier League table.
I'm going to use like from the last season's winner where we
I'm
had
going to use
Man
since
City at
you
the
know where
top,
we had
then
Man City at the top,
the other
then
clubs.
the other clubs.
I think I have to change this PC I'm using
I
tomorrow.
have to change this PC I'm using.
So and to type text is taking so long.
And to type text, it's taking so long.
So to
So
to show which
to
one is
to
at the
show
top,
which one is at the
I will
top,
increase its own font
I will
size
increase its own font size
to like 30.
like 30.
Then
Then
this one's at the bottom now
this one's at the bottom now
would still remain at the same point.
would still
So
remain at the same
we
point.
use,
So
like I said,
we
how
use,
big a
like I
text
said,
is
how
to
big
show
a text
importance
is to
to
show
that particular
importance
text. So
that particular
Manchester
text.
City is
So
at the top,
Manchester
number
City
one.
is
So you
at
can
the top,
realize,
number
you
one.
can see that
So you can realize, you
his
can see
own
that
font size is
his own
bigger
font
than
size
every
is
other
bigger than every
club that we
other
have
club
listed
that we have
there on
listed
the list.
here on the
So
list.
when
So
applying
when
hierarchy,
applying
we can
hierarchy,
use both
you can use
size and
both
weight. Now,
size and weight.
size
Now,
is different from
size
weight.
is different from weight.
Now you can see that
Now you
Manchester
can see
City
that
is
Manchester
bigger
City is
than
bigger
our
than
services,
our services,
right? But
right?
our
But
services
our
is
services
more
is
thicker
more
than
thicker
Manchester City.
than
So
Manchester City.
when we're talking
So
about
we are talking about
like keyboard.
like
When we're talking about weight,
when
we're talking about
we're
how
talking
bold
about weight, we are talking about how
the
bold
text is looking like.
the text is
When we're
looking
talking
like.
about
When we're talking about
size, we're talking about how big,
size, we're talking about
right?
how big,
So
right?
that is what
So
we talk about
this is
applying
what we talk
hierarchy
about
in a
applying
design. So
hierarchy
let's
in a
say
design.
we want
So
to
let's say
write
we
the
want
name
to
of,
write the name of,
maybe you are doing
maybe you are
50%
doing
slash
50%
sales,
slash
blah blah
sales,
blah,
blah
in
blah
your
blah,
hair
in
vendor
your
stuff.
hair
We
vendor
are going
stuff.
to make that
You're going to make
50%
that 50%
look way bigger
look way bigger
than every other
than
thing,
every other
right?
thing, right?
Because we
Because
want to
we
attract
want
the
to
eyes of the
attract
client
the
to
eyes of
that
the
particular
client to
aspect.
that particular
Now,
aspect.
where there
Now,
are now terms
where
and
there are now
conditions
terms and
can now be
conditions can
smaller,
now be
whereby
smaller,
we write,
whereby
for
we
you to
write
get
for
50%
you to get
slash,
50%
it means
slash,
that
it
you
means
have to
that
like buy
you have to
a
like
good
buy
goods
a
worth of
good goods
50,000
worth
naira
of
from the
50,000
brand,
naira from
right?
the brand,
So that way
right?
hierarchy
So
has come
that
in
way
place where
hierarchy has come in
the,
place where
the, the, the captivating part
the
of the design
captivating part of the
is
design
made bigger
is made
than every
bigger
other
than every
aspect.
other aspect.
All right.
All right.
Then
Then
we have what we call
we have
kenning
what
and
we call
tracking. Right.
kenning and
So what is
tracking.
kenning and tracking, and
What
how
is
do we
kenning and
apply
tracking, and how
kenning
do
and
we
tracking
apply
in
kenning
typography?
and tracking in
Right.
typography?
So
Right?
kenning is the
Kenning
adjustment of
is the
space
adjustment of space
between individual
between
characters.
individual
So what are
characters.
individual
So what
characters?
are
Individual
individual
characters
characters?
are
Individual characters
alphabets.
are
A,
alphabets.
B, C, D,
A,
E,
B,
F, G,
C,
H
D, E,
to
F,
Z.
G, H, to
They
Z.
are all
They are
individual
all
characters. So A
individual
is a
characters. So
character,
A
B
is a
is a
character,
character,
B is a
C is
character,
a character.
C is a
So
character.
when we
So
create
when we
space
create
in between
space
these
in
characters,
between
in
these
between
characters,
these
in between
alphabets,
these
we are
alphabets,
applying a
we are
rule which is
applying a
called
rule which is
kenning.
called kenning.
So let's say the text is so
So
congested, like they are packed
let's
together
say
like
the
sardine
text is
inside of
so
bread.
congested,
I want to create
they are packed
space
together like
between them.
sardine
We
inside
are
of bread.
going to create
I want to create
kenning around
space
those
between
texts,
them.
right?
We are
So
going to
how do
create
we create
kenning
kenning?
around
We
this text.
use,
Right?
we don't
So
use
how do we
space, so
create
we
kenning?
don't tap space.
We
To
don't use
create kenning, we
space.
use this
We
tool
don't tap
here, which
space.
is
To create
the
kenning, we use
shape
this
tool,
tool here, which is
right? So if
the
I should
shape
come,
tool.
immediately I click on the
Right?
shape
So
tool, you
if I
can see
should
that
come in, immediately
there's
I click on
something
the shape
down
tool,
here
you
and
can
there's
see that
another one here.
there's something
So
down
we
here and
use
there's another
this
one here.
particular one here
We use this
for
particular
kenning.
one here
So if I
for
should drag
kenning.
this apart,
If I should drag this apart,
there's going to be spacing
there's
in
going to be
between the text.
spacing in between the text.
There's going to be spacing in
Going to
between
be
the
spacing
text,
in between the
like
text,
this.
like this.
Spacing in between the text. Then,
Spacing in
if I
between the
want
text.
to create another
Then,
space
if I want to create
at the
another space
bottom,
at the bottom,
now,
now
when characters are
when
grouped together,
characters are
right,
grouped
they are
together,
now
right, they
grouped
are now
together.
grouped
So
together.
we can call
So
that group
we
of
can call that
characters.
group of
So the
characters.
spacing in
So the
between group of
spacing in
characters
between
is
group of
what we call
characters is
tracking.
what we call
So
tracking.
Manchester, is Manchester,
Manchester
right?
is
So
Manchester,
together,
right? So
the
together,
individual
the
characters
individual
form a
characters
word which is
form a
Manchester,
word which is
right? So that is
Manchester,
a group
right? So that
of
is a
character.
group of
So
characters.
but when
So,
we
but
now
when we now
separate them, they
separate
are
them,
individual
they
characters.
are individual
So
characters.
the space
So
in
the
between
space in
Manchester
between
and Arsenal,
Manchester and
if I'm to
Arsenal,
create a
if I'm to
space in
create
between
a
them like
space in
this,
between them like this,
extra space, I'm
extra
creating
space,
tracking. What I'm
I'm
doing there is
creating
tracking.
tracking. What I'm
So
doing there is
the
tracking.
space
So
in
the
between
space
group
in
of
between
characters is
group of
called tracking.
characters is
While
called
the
tracking.
space
While the
between
space
individual
between
characters is what we
individual
call
characters is what we
kenning.
call
That is
kenning.
kenning and
That is
tracking.
kenning
And
and
when
tracking.
designing,
And
you
when
can apply
designing,
this. So
you
let's
can
say
apply this.
you have
So
seen a
let's
flyer
say
where somebody
you have
writes
seen a flyer where somebody
so
writes
so and so
so and so
presents. So the
presents.
presents we
So the
apply
present
most
we
times
apply
kenning there where we
most
create like
times kenning there will create like
a very big space in
big
between the text.
space
So
in
very
between
large
the text.
space
So very
in
large
between the
space
text.
in between the
That
text.
way we are not
That
even
way we
changing
are not even
how
changing
the character
how the character
of the design.
of the design.
All right. right? So I'm going to show you
All
an
right.
example now.
So I'm going to show you an
So I'm going
example
to
now.
type
So I'm
present
going to
twice.
type
So look
present
at
twice.
present.
So look at present.
So this is first present.
So this is first present.
This is another
This
present.
is another present.
So if I'm to break them apart, Control K,
If I'm to break
I
them
have them
apart,
separately.
Control K, I have them
All right.
separately.
So let's
Alright.
say
So let's
from
say
here to here
from
is where the
here
flyer
to
is,
here is where the
and I want
flyer
this
is.
present
And I
to
want
like
this
fill up the
present
space.
to like fill up the space.
Normally, what you would have done is you
Normally
just
what you would have
drag
done
the
is
text,
you
right?
just drag the
Make
text,
it bigger,
right? Make it
make the
bigger,
text bigger,
make the text
and the text
bigger,
will fill
and the
up that
text will
space.
fill up that space.
And that way is
And
very
that
wrong
way is
because
very wrong because
present is not something
present
that
is
should be
not
very
something
very
that
big.
should be
It
very,
should be
very big.
small
It
if
should
you're
be small
applying the
if
rule
you are
of
applying the rule of
hierarchy. So
hierarchy.
instead of
So
doing that,
instead of doing that,
what you would have
what you
done
would have done
is just go
is
to
just go
your shape
to
tool
your shape tool
and just drag here
and just drag here
like this. So you would
like
have
this.
enough space in between the
So you
text,
would have enough space in
and it's
between the
also
text,
adding beauty
and
to
it's
the
also
design,
adding beauty
right?
to the
Now
design.
look at this one
Right.
instead. So instead of
Now
using
look at
canning
this
and
one
tracking, if
instead. So
I
instead
just
of using
drag
canning
it
and
like
tracking,
this,
if I just drag it like this,
the text is going to fill the space, but it's going to alter the way the text
the
looks
text
like
is going to feel
originally.
originally.
So we are not trying to
So we are
alter
not
how
trying
the
to
text
alter
look
how
like.
the text
We
looks like.
want the text
We
to
want the text
maintain
to
how it looks
maintain
like,
how it looks
but
like.
also
Like,
it should fill
but
up the
also
space.
you
So
should
that is
fill
when
up
we
the
use
space.
kenning.
So
So
that
kenning
is
can
when we
help us
use
to
kenning.
make
So
a
kenning can
particular
help us
word fill up
to
a space
make a
whereby
particular
those
word
texts
fill up a
still have
space
the same
whereby
sizes.
those texts
They are
still
not
have the same
changing. So
sizes.
you remember
They are
what I
not
said,
changing.
when
You
increasing
remember what I
size
said?
of a
When
text,
increasing size
don't
of a
drag them.
text, don't drag them.
Don't drag them by the
Don't
edge.
drag
Don't
them by
drag
the
them at
edge.
all.
Don't drag them at
If
all.
you are dragging
If
them
you are
by this
dragging them
side
by
and
this
it's
side
taking up
and it's
space,
taking up
but you
space,
still want it to fill
but
up
you
the
still
whole
want
page,
to fill up the
the
whole
best
page, the
option
best
is to
option
just apply
is to just
kenning
apply
at
kenning
that place.
at that place.
Apply kenning,
Apply
increase the
kenning,
text
increase the text
using your shape
using your
tool.
shape tool.
Alright,
Alright.
so that's where
So
kenning and
that's
tracking
where
comes
kenning and
in
tracking
play.
comes
So
into
we,
play.
we are able
So
to say that
we are able
kenning
to
is
say
the
that kenning
spacing
is the
in
spacing
between
in
texts,
between texts,
in between
in
characters,
between
in between
characters, in between
alphabets, single
alphabets,
alphabets
single
like
alphabets,
P
like P,
R E S
R,
E N
E,
T.
S, E,
So the
N, T.
spacing in
So the
between them
spacing in
is what we
between them
call
is what we
kenning.
call
But when
kenning.
we are
But when we
grouping
are
them as a word
grouping them
like
as a word
present,
like
and
present,
another
and
word is
another
underneath
word
it,
is underneath
the
it,
spacing
the
between the
spacing
first word
between
and the
the
second word
first
is
word
what
and
we
the
call
second word is what we
tracking.
call tracking.
All right, so keep that in
Right, so
mind.
keep that in
That is
mind.
what we mean by
That is what
kenning
we mean by
and
kenning
tracking.
and tracking.
So,
So,
like I said, there are other
I said
videos
there
where
are
we
other
have explained
videos where we have
typography.
explained typography.
If you still want
If you
more
still want
insight on how I
more
explain typography in
insight on
previous
how I explained
videos,
typography in
you
previous
can go and
videos, then
check
go and
the
take
YouTube
the
account and find those
account
videos.
and find those
So
videos.
we
So
were talking about
we were talking
layouts,
about
creating
layout,
effective
creating
layouts
effective
for designs. So
layout
what are
for the
effective layouts?
designs.
If you want to create a
So
design,
what are effective layouts?
some
If you
people
want to
might call
create a
it
design, some people might call
wireframes,
it
right? You just call it
wireframes.
a layout.
And just call it
So
a
sometimes you might
layout.
call it a
Or
template,
sometimes you
creating
might
a
call it
template
a template,
that's going to
creating a
guide you
template
in
that's
design.
going to
But
guide
there are
you
some
in
like
design.
me, I
But
don't
there are
know some
some
design.
like
I don't
me,
think there's any
I
time
don't
I
know
wanted
some
to
design.
design
I
a
don't think there's
flyer.
any time I wanted
I
to design a
started
flyer.
drawing
Started
boxes first of
drawing
all to say, okay, I'll
boxes
put
first
this
of
here and
all
put
to
this
say,
here.
okay, I'll put
But
this here
most
and put
times
this
it is
here.
very, very
But
good
most times it is
because
very, very
it
good
gives you like a
because
sense
it gives you
of
like a sense
direction,
of
right?
direction,
Where you draw a
right?
shape
Where you
and say,
draw a
okay,
shape
this is how
and
we're
say,
going to do,
okay,
this is what we're going
this is
to
how
do.
we're going to do,
So
what we're
if
going
you're
to do.
using,
So if you're
okay, like
using,
most of you, I
okay,
think some
like
of you are
most of you, I
conversant
think
with
some of you are conversant
Canva
with
or Pixel Lab and
Canva
stuff
or
like that.
Pixel Lab and stuff like
Some
that.
of them have like
Some of them have
templates
like
where
templates where
um,
um,
the boxes are
the
already there,
boxes are
shapes are already.
already
You just
there,
have to
shapes are already.
remove,
You just have to
replace
remove,
them, put
replace
another
them,
text,
put
stuff
another
like that.
text,
So
stuff
stuff
like
like
that.
that are
So stuff
already
like that are
layouts,
already
or we call them a
layouts, or we
template
call them a
that's
template
already created,
that's already created,
and you just
and you
replicate
just
them. So that way,
replicate
most
them.
time
So
you
that
go
way,
online, you
most
see
time you go online, you
a
see
lot of designs
a lot of
looking
designs
similar
looking similar
because the same template
because
you
the
use,
same
another
template
person
you
use that
use
same
and that person
template.
uses that same
So,
template.
but now
So,
let's say
but
you
now let's say
are not using
you
this
are not
template.
using
How
this
do you
template. How
create
do you create
effective layouts
effective
that
layouts
will make your
that will
design
make your design
look proper?
look
So,
proper?
what do
So
you
what
need
do you need
to create a good layout?
to
So
create a good
effective
layout?
layout
So
design
effective
ensures
layout
that
design ensures that
informations are
informations
presented
are
in a
presented
structured
in a
and
structured
engaging
and
manner.
engaging
So when
manner.
we say
So when we
structured
say
and engaging manner
structured and
means
engaging manner means
this
this
part will lead to
part will
another
lead to
part, this
another
part will
part,
lead to
this
another
part
part,
will lead to
and
another
this
part,
part will lead
and
to
this
another
part
part,
will lead to another
right?
part,
So
right?
what is the first
What
rule?
is the
The
first
first
rule?
rule
The
is
first rule
grid
is grid
systems.
systems.
So there's what we call
There's
grid
what we call
systems. So
grid
what are grid
systems. So what
systems?
are grid systems?
Grid systems, they
Grid systems,
provide
they
a
provide a
framework
framework
for
for
organizing
organizing
content.
content.
They help
They
maintain
help maintain
consistency in
consistency
design
in
and
design
alignment.
and alignment.
So I showed you
So
yesterday how
I
to
showed you
bring out
yesterday how to bring
lines
out lines
or
or
rulers.
rulers.
So let's say you
So
don't
let's
want to
say you don't
use
want to use
those lines and
those
rulers.
lines
You
and
want to
rulers.
create
You
like
want to create like
something that looks like a graph.
something that looks like a graph.
So it's going to guide
So
you.
it's going to guide
We
you.
can create
We
grid
can
here.
create
So
grid here. So
how do we do that with
how
our
do we do that with our
pick tool? You just
pick
right
tool?
click
You just right click
and you say
and you
view.
say view.
So here we have
So here we
document
have
grid,
document grid.
right? So if I click on
Right.
this
So
document
if I
grid,
click on this document grid,
we are going to have grid lines all over the screen. So you can see all these lines.
to have grid lines all over the
These
screen.
grids,
So you can see
they
all
are
these lines. These grids, they are
so
so
big.
so big.
So these lines
So
can
these
serve
lines
as
can
rulers.
serve as
So
rulers.
instead of bringing
So
out
instead of bringing out
a ruler
a
instead,
ruler instead,
you can just
you can just
put these grids
put these
and they
grids
would work
and they would work
perfectly.
perfectly.
Alright, so you see top here, you can say show
Alright,
grid
so you see
or
top
not
here,
to
you can
show
say
grid.
show grid
So if you
or
want
not
to
to
use
show
them, you
grid.
just tap on
So if
these
you want to
eyes
use
here
them, you just
and
tap
you
on
see
this
your
eyes
grid,
here
or
and you see your
you
grid.
can come here
Or
which is view
you can
and you
come here
say
which is view and you say
document grid,
document grid.
right? So you
Right?
can use that
You
also.
can use that
Grid
also.
systems.
Grid system.
So instead,
So
something like this,
instead,
maybe
something like
lines
this,
like
maybe
this.
lines like this.
This is not a line,
This
these
is
are
not a line,
rollers.
these are rulers.
Ruler.
Ruler.
So we can create our own grid system by ourselves also,
So we can create our own grid system by
which is
ourselves
going to
also.
guide you
It's
when
going to
you're
guide
making
you when you're
your
making
design.
your design.
So let's say your design is
Let's
going
say
to
your
be
design
inside this box. Let's make
box.
the box equal size 9 by
Let's
9.
make the box equal size 9 by 9,
Is filling the whole page.
filling the whole page.
Alright. So then you need a grid system. So we want to say, where am I going to place my
Then
logos?
you need a
And use
grid
this
system.
ruler.
So we want to say,
Place it
where
here.
am I
So,
going to place my
okay,
logos?
from
You
here
can
to
use this ruler.
here,
Place it here. So,
we'll be
okay, from
having our
here to
logo.
here,
Then
we'll be having our
from
logo.
here to
Then
here
from here to here
would be like the body of the design.
would be like
And
the
at the
body of
bottom
the
here,
design. And at the bottom here,
we would have um,
we would have
addresses and stuff.
addresses and stuff.
So sometimes when you finish designing and you take it for
So
printing,
sometimes when you finish
this
designing
edge is here
and
might
you take it
cut.
for
So that is
printing,
why we
this
might
edge
use
is here
rulers
my cut. So that
to
is
like
why
create
we might use
like a
rulers
snapshot where
to like create
anything we are designing should be inside of these lines that we drew here. Everything we are designing. So if I'm to create,
lines
let's
that we
say
drew here. Everything we
the
are
logo will
designing.
be here,
So if I to create, let's say the logo will be
right?
here,
Then inside of here,
then inside of
I have
here
another item.
I have another item,
Then inside of here,
and inside of
I
here,
have another item.
right.
So with just this
So with just
simple
this
guideline, you can create a simple flyer
you can create a
straight
simple
up.
flyer,
A simple flyer,
straight up,
right?
simple flyer, right?
Another
So
thing we are talking about is proper alignment.
another thing we are talking about is
So this is
proper
another
alignment.
guideline
So this is
for
another
creating an effective
guideline
layout.
for
Proper
creating an
alignment. So
effective
proper
layout.
alignment creates a
Proper
clean
alignment. So proper alignment creates
and
a
organized
clean
appearance.
and
Right.
organized
So
appearance.
what do we
Right.
mean by
So
appearance?
what do we
Choosing
mean
from
by
left
appearance?
to right
Choosing
to
from
center
left
or justified.
to right
So
to center
if
or
you're
justified.
designing, like
So
there was one of my
if
students
you're
that sent me a
designing,
flyer that
like
he was
there's one
making.
of my students that sent me a
When
flyer
you
that he
are
was making.
choosing your letters,
When you are
okay,
choosing your
let's
letters,
create
okay,
something
let's
so you're able
let's
to
create
explain
something
this
to
better.
be able to explain this better.
Um,
Um,
so let's say we want to type
let's say want to type
welcome
welcome
to
to
what should I write? Welcome
what
to
should I write? Welcome to
Nigeria,
Nigeria,
the African,
the
is that what they
African,
call us? African giants.
is that what they call us? African giant.
to Nigeria African Giant. So I'm going to
the Nigeria
apply
African Giant. So I'm going
both
to apply
alignment and also
both alignment and
hierarchy to this
also
also,
hierarchy to this also,
and then contrasts.
and then contrasts.
That is welcome to Nigeria.
That is welcome to Nigeria.
Let's say save Nigeria.
Let's say save Nigeria.
So I'm going to like write a body for them.
So I'm going to like write a body for them. Say
we have
we have
a mission
a mission
to raise
to raise
Nigerians
Nigerians
with the right
right
mindset
mindset.
wow
Wow.
and
And love
for their country.
their country.
All right. So I'm going to
All
change their fonts.
I'm going to change their font.
So you see hierarchy
So
coming
you
to
see
play.
hierarchy
So
coming to
this
play.
the
So
particular place I
the
want to
particular
be
place
bigger
I
is the
want to be
welcome
bigger
to
is the
Nigeria.
welcome to
So
Nigeria.
instead of
So
the
instead
Gilroy,
of
I'm going to
the
use
Gilroy, I'm
Gilroy
going to
regular.
use Gilroy regular.
So you can see that
You can see that
based on the fact that
based on
this
the
one is
fact that
arranged
this
at
one
this
is
side,
arranged at this side,
aligned to the left here,
aligned to the
I can't
left here,
just
I
possibly
can't
just bring
just
this at this side.
possibly
I'll
just
make sure
bring
that
this at this
this
side.
one is
I'll
also
make sure that
aligned to the
this one
left
is
here.
also
And I
aligned
can
to the
also
left
see
here.
that
I
in
can
between
also
this
see that
text,
in between
the
this
spacing
text,
in between is
the
also big. So
spacing
we'll
in between
apply
is also
Ken in
big.
here.
So we'll apply Ken in here.
Reduce the spacing in
Reduce the
between the text.
spacing in between the text.
So with
So
just
with
typography,
just typography,
without even having
without
a
even
picture,
having a picture,
you can
you can
come up with designs.
come up with designs.
Now the only thing that will make that
Now the
design
only thing
look
that will make
proper,
that design
right,
look proper,
and good
right, and good
is how you apply
is
the designs.
how you apply
How
the
do you
designs.
apply the
How
designs?
do you apply the design?
So let's say
So
we'll add
let's
one more
say
thing to this.
we'll
Since
add
this
one
is
more
not even
thing to
bold
this.
enough,
Since this is not even bold enough,
I want to use the Gilroy
I want to
heavy
use the
instead.
Gilroy heavy instead.
So you can see that
You can see
everything
that
is like kind of connected
everything
to
is
each other,
like
both
kind of
contrast.
connected to each
When we
other,
say
both
contrast
contrast.
in shape,
When we say contrast in
contrast in
shape,
size, contrast
contrast
in
in
typography
size,
also.
contrast in
I'm going to
typography
apply
also.
something like that
I'm
here
going to apply something
at the
like that
bottom here.
here
So we'll say
at the
register
bottom. So we'll
today
say
or
register
register now.
today or register now.
So I wouldn't allow register now to
So I
have like the
wouldn't
same
allow
size on the
register
top
now
because
to have like the
it's
same
going to be
size on the top because
contradicting
it's going to
the
be
rule
contradicting
for the
the
designs.
rule for the designs.
So I want to align.
So I
Remember when
want
I
to
said if you
align.
want to
Remember when
align
I said
stuff
if
to
you
the
want to
left,
align stuff to the
select every
left,
one of them and click L,
select every one of them and click L,
and they will go to the
and they will
left
go to
all
the
together.
left all together.
So we'll make sure that, remember I said items
So we'll
placed
make
together
sure that,
are perceived
remember I said
to be what
items
to be
placed
related.
together are perceived
So I
to be
would
what to
like
be related. So I
little bit
would
of spacing
like little bit of spacing
in between them.
in between them.
So welcome to
So
Save
welcome to
Nigeria
Save
and their
Nigeria
mission.
and their
I can
mission.
bring them closer
I
together,
can
and
bring
I
them
think
closer together, and I
my
think
arrangement here is a bit
my arrangement
altered.
here is a bit altered.
Register now. So I wouldn't bring any
Register
other
now.
thing inside
So
here.
I
So
wouldn't bring
only
any other
this
thing
aspect like
inside
this
here.
would
Only
have
this
taken
aspect like
everything.
this would have taken
So
everything.
at this top
So
here,
at this
if
top
the
here,
brand
if
has,
the brand has,
let's say a logo, which I
let's
don't
say a
have,
logo, which I don't have,
we can apply that there. So I can
we
delete
can
this
apply
box
that there.
actually.
So I can
You see
delete
that
this
is a
box
layout
actually.
that I just
You see
created
that is a
there.
layout that I just created there.
Then down here, we can leave here this way.
Then down here, I can leave here this way.
Then I give it a
I give it
color.
a color.
So we just this our lines
So we just this our
and
lines
obeying the alignment
and
rule,
obeying the alignment
obeying
rule,
align to the left and
obeying align to
stuff
the
like that.
left and
You can
stuff
create
like
a
that.
simple
You
poster
can
even for
create
your
a
business.
simple poster
So
even for your business.
here,
So
this logo
here,
this will go down. But let's see
this
if we
logo
can
this will go
just
down. Let's see
come
if
up
I
with
just
something.
come up with something.
So the logo does not
So
need to
the
be
logo
big.
does
So
not
you
need to
see,
be big. So
if
you
you if
see,
I bring out my
if I
ruler and
bring
I
out my
put it
ruler
here,
and I put it
you
here,
realize that
you
this
realize that
logo
this
this at
logo
this point
this
is
at this
aligning
point
out of
is
this. So I
aligning
need
out of
everything to
this. So
be
I need
aligned
everything to
with
be
this name,
aligned
with
with
the
this
welcome.
name,
So I'll
with
click
the
L.
welcome. So I'll click L.
So this is the alignment is
So this
I'm
is
using right
the
now.
alignment
Is
is what I'm
alignment
using
to
right
the
now.
right.
Is alignment to the right.
Sorry,
Sorry,
alignment to the left.
alignment to
So
the
when
left.
making designs, you
So
need to
when
put
making
this
designs,
in
you need to
mind.
put this in mind.
You need to put this in mind also.
To put this in mind also.
So we don't have an actual logo
We
here, so
don't
I'm
have
just
an
going to
actual logo
use.
yet. I'm just going to use.
We'll just make it blank for now.
Just make it blank.
So I'll make sure that they are aligned also.
I'll make sure that they are
Every single
aligned
aspect is
also.
important.
every
I'll
single
reduce
aspect
the
is
logo
important.
also
I'll reduce the logo
because
also
I'm applying
because
hierarchy here.
I'm applying a hierarchy here.
So there are some people
So
when
there are
you
some
design for
people
them, they will say,
when you
make
design
my
for them, they
logo
will say,
big, make it
make my
big,
logo
make it
big,
big.
make it
So
big,
as a
make it big.
designer, you are
So
the ones
as a
to
designer, you are the
explain to
ones
them
to
that
explain to them that
hello sir, hello ma,
hello sir, hello ma.
this particular design we are making is
This
not really
particular
about your
design we are
logo,
making is
right?
not really about your logo.
So most times
So most
people
times
think that it's really really
people
about
think
them,
that
but
it's
most
really really
times
about
we are
them, but
just
most
trying to
times
like
we are just
buy the
trying to
mind
like
of people. So how do we
buy
buy
the
it? We
mind
have
of
to like
people. So how do we
push
buy it?
out
We have to like
what we are
push
selling
out
first off.
what we are selling
Let that
first
one,
off.
let it be what
Let that
is
one, let it be
in the
what
forefront
is
of people. Let them be
in the
seeing
forefront
that
of it. Let
already.
them be seeing
And
that
when they're
already.
seeing that, they will
And when
definitely
they're
find
seeing that, they will
who owns the
definitely
brand,
find
right?
who was the
So when
brand,
they read this, they
right?
will definitely
So
find
when
who
they
owns the
read
brand.
this,
So
they will
it
definitely
is
find
not
who was the
really,
brand. So
really even
it is
about
not
you
really,
most
really
times.
even about
It's
you
about
most times.
what are
It's
you
about
sending out.
what
So
are you
the moment you
sending
are
out
seeing
to.
this design, the
The
first
moment
thing
you
you
are
are saying
seeing
is
this design, the
welcome
first
to
thing you're
Save
saying is
Nigeria.
welcome to Save Nigeria.
Okay,
Okay.
why are we saving
Why are we
Nigeria?
saving
We
Nigeria?
have a mission to blah
We
blah
have a
blah blah
mission to
blah.
blah
So
blah
this is
blah
not
blah
like a
blah.
real
This
flyer,
is not
right? We
like
don't
a
have
real flyer.
any
Like we don't have any
guideline. That's why
guideline.
we are
That's
just
why
making this.
we are just making this.
So if we had like
If we
an
had like
actual
an
guideline now,
actual guideline
you'll
now,
even see
you'll
us
even see
going
us
deeper,
going
making
deeper,
something more
making
even better
something
than
more
this.
even better than this.
Then what would
Then
now be
what
at the
would now
bottom here?
be
So
at
remember
the
that
bottom here? So remember that
proximity has to do
proximity
with
has to do with
items that are close
items that are
together
close
are
together
perceived to
are
be
perceived to
related.
be
So
related.
we are going
So
to
we are going to
put their how to
put
reach out to them.
their
So how
how
do they
to
reach
reach
out to
out to
them?
them. So how do they reach
Contact
out to them?
info.
Contact info.
So
So
for contrast,
for
we are going to leave
contrast,
here black
we are going to
and we're
leave
going
here
to
black
change the
and
text to
we're going to
white.
change the text to white.
So all the
So
colors I'm using
all
here
the
now, I'm using
colors I'm
black and
using
white.
here now, using black and white,
So that
so
you wouldn't get
that you
confused.
wouldn't
Okay,
get
maybe you are
confused.
thinking
Okay,
of
maybe you're
colors
thinking of
to
colors
use. So currently we are
to
just
use. So
using
currently
black
we are
and
just
white
using
alone.
black and white alone.
Yeah. So I'll make sure it's also aligned.
I'll make sure it's also aligned.
Yeah. So I'll use the tinier
I'll
one, or maybe
use
I should use
the
this.
tinier one, or maybe I should use this.
So just come with any number.
Or any number.
Um,
Uh,
let me make it two.
and make it two.
So what other information do they have? I don't know. Maybe they have like
Other information they have,
email
maybe they have like
address. Let's say
email address. Let's say
save
save
Nigeria
Nigeria
at
at
gmail.com.
email. Um,
So when you finish typing stuff like that,
when you
it
finish
mostly
typing stuff
change.
like that, it mostly change.
Change the color to blue
Change the color to
sometimes.
blue.
So if they have an address, I
So
don't know
if
if
they
they
have
have
an
an
address,
address
I don't know if they have an address
or maybe an office.
or
So
maybe an
whatever contact
office.
information
So whatever
is given
contact
to you is what
information
you're going to
is
like
given to you is what you're
fix
going to like
into this place.
fix into this place. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I'm going to reduce this
So I'm
contact
going to
info
reduce this
if it's a
contact
bit
info
too
to
big
be a bit too
and it's
big
clashing with the
and
register
it's
now.
clashing with the register now.
Up there.
Oh, yeah.
So as simple
So
as this, I think
as
this is
simple as
basically
this, I think this is
what the
basically
flyer looks like.
what the
Basically,
flyer
so
looks
this is
like.
like a very very
Basically,
basic
this is
flyer
like a very very basic flyer
where you have the
where you have
background,
the background,
the logo of the
the
company,
logo of the
then
company,
what
then
are they offering?
what are they
It might
offering?
be another thing,
It
it might
might
be
be
another
another
thing.
thing, it might be another
Then
thing.
here,
Then
register
here,
today,
register
contact
today,
info.
contact
If we're
info.
creating like maybe
If
a
we're
proper
creating like
proper
maybe a
properties that okay,
proper
we say we
property that
start
we say we
using
start
colors
using
and
colors and
now start
now start
fixing
fixing
pictures. If you want to
pictures.
fix picture
If I want
now,
to fix
it
picture
will be
now,
at this
it will be
at this point,
at this point,
this other side
this
of the
other
screen
side of the screen
here.
here.
So I'll have like
So I will
maybe
have like
a
maybe
picture of somebody
picture
at
of
this side.
somebody at this side.
Then
Then
if a picture of
if
somebody is
a
going to be
picture
at
of
this side,
somebody is
it
going to
means
be at
that
this side, it means that
this
this
stuff here will have
stuff
to be
here will have to be
rearranged.
rearranged.
Nigerians will go down
Nigerians will
again.
go down again.
No, Nigeria will
So
not go
Nigeria
down.
will not go down.
The text
The
Nigerians
text
will
Nigerians
now have to
we now
go
have to
down to
go
this
down
side.
to this side.
So we just
So we
quickly
just
did this
quickly
to be
did
able
this
to
to be able
explain
to
what we
explain
mean by
what we mean by
alignment. So proper
alignment. So
alignment
proper alignment
creates a clean
creates
design.
a clean
You,
design.
you might not even need
You
to
might not
like
even need to like
download much effects.
download
There are
much
some.
effects.
There's a
There
guy
are
they call
some
Minister of
there's
Clean
a
Design. Very
combination
very
of clean
clean. Like
design.
the
Very very
spacing around
clean.
them,
This
the kind of
around
text you
there.
choose. Don't use too much fonts. Don't use too
Don't
much
use too much
colors.
font, don't use
Just
too much
straightforward.
color.
As far as the information is legible. So we
Information
said first of all,
is
the
legible. So we
design needs
said
to
first
be
of all,
what
the design needs to be
aesthetically
what
pleasing. It means it needs to
aesthetically
be
pleasing.
beautiful,
It
right?
needs to
Then
be
also
beautiful,
it should be
right?
legible.
Then also
So
it
when
should
we
be
say
legible.
legible, they should be
When
able
we
to
say
read
legible, they
and
should be able to
understand,
read and
not being
understand,
confused
not being confused
by the informations you
by the
have
informations you have
gathered, right?
gathered.
So most times when
Right?
you design,
So most
sometimes
times when you
try
design,
to view
sometimes
it
try to view it
when it's big and
when
also
it's
view it
big and also view
in
it
a smaller scale.
in a
Try
smaller
different
scale.
variations
Try
and you
different
see, okay,
variations
is this
and see,
thing
okay,
legible
is
from
this
this
thing
point
legible
of view?
from this
Can people
point
see
of
it
view? Can
easily?
people see it
So before
easily?
you just
So
dish it
before you
out
just
and say,
dish
okay,
it
I'm
out
done.
and say, okay,
You
I'm
understand?
done. Understand?
Then
Then
we have what we call white
we have what we
spacing.
call white spacing.
Alright, so what is white
Alright,
spacing?
so what is
So
white
white spacing
spacing?
also
The
known
white spacing
as
also known as
negative space.
negative
Alright,
space.
so this is the empty
Alright, so this is the
area
empty
around
area around
the design.
the design.
So if you look
So if you
around this
look
design,
around this
you notice
design,
that
you
there are
notice
spaces here. So
there are
if I use
spaces
this
here. So
ruler
if I use this ruler
and place here
and
now,
place here now,
there is a space
there is
between
a space
here and
between
here,
here and here,
and there's still
and
space
there's
in
this
between here
space
and here.
between here
So
and
all
here.
this spacing that we
All
have
this spacing that we
between
have
these designs,
between these
now
designs.
because we call it
Now,
white
because we
spacing,
call
does
it
not mean
white
that the
spacing,
space
does not
needs to
mean
be
that the
white.
space needs to be white.
It might be,
Might
the
be,
design might be
the
red,
design might
right?
be red,
But the
right?
spacing that we
But the
have in
spacing that we
between
have
each
in
of these
between each
elements
of these
is what
elements
we call
is what we
white
call
spaces,
white
right?
spaces,
So
right?
white
So
spacing, or you might even
white
call it
spacing, or
a
you might even
negative
call it
space,
a negative
right?
space,
But most times we
right?
call it
But most
negative
times we call
space
it negative
when we
space
are maybe
when we
designing
are
a
maybe
logo and
designing
we
a
are
logo and we are
making like
making
hidden
like
messages
hidden messages
inside of the logo. So we use
inside of the
negative
logo. So we
spaces
use negative
to like
spaces
research.
to like
So when we
research.
start talking
So when we
about logo
start talking
design,
about logo
you understand
design,
what I'm talking
you
about
understand what I'm
by
talking about
applying
by applying
negative space in
negative
a
space
design.
in a design.
So the
So the
spacing we
spacing
are making
we are
needs to
making
be
needs
equal,
to be equal,
right? So like
right?
in this
So like
particular
in this
box now, I'll check
particular
now. You
box
see
now,
that
I'll check
the
now
kind
and
of
you see that
spacing I gave
the kind
in
of
between
spacing I
here
give in between here
and here
and here
should be kind of
should be
equal.
kind of
So
equal.
if I'm not sure that
If
it's
I'm not
equal, I
sure that it's
can
equal, I
simply just
can
group
simply
them,
just group them,
Control G,
Control G,
and hold
and
with the
hold
box
with the
and click
box
E.
and click E.
With letter E now,
With
you can see
letter
that I
E now, you
have
can see
equal
that I
spacing
have
in
equal
between them,
spacing in between
right?
them,
So
right?
white
So
space, also
white
known as
space,
negative space,
also known
is
as
the
negative
empty
space,
area
is the empty
around
area
and
around
between elements.
and
So it's
between elements. So
essential
it's
for
essential for
readability and visual
readability and
balance.
visual
So that was the
balance.
reason
So
why
that was the reason why
before I had this
before I
text
had
here,
this text here,
I had to like
I had to
move it
like move
upwards
it
so
upwards
that we would know
we would
which ones.
know which
Remember
ones.
what we said about
Remember what we said
proximity, that
about
items
proximity,
placed
that
together
items
are
placed together
perceived to be
are
related.
perceived
So
to be
that was why
related.
we had to
So that
like
was
bring
why
these
we
ones
had to like
together
bring these ones
and these
together
ones
and these
separate
ones
from them, so
separate
that we can
from them,
perceive that these
so that we can
items
perceive that these
are
items
related.
are
Okay, when
related.
I've
Okay,
read
when
this,
I've read
I
this,
would read this,
I would
register
read
today.
this,
How do I
register today.
register?
How do
I
I
have to
register?
contact them.
I have to
So how do I
contact them.
contact them?
So how do
I
I
have their
contact them?
contact info.
I have their
So you see the
contact
arrangement.
info.
So
So you see
imagine
the
if I have
arrangement.
contact
So
info
imagine if I have
here
contact
and I
info
have welcome
here
to Nigeria
and I have
down
welcome
here,
to Nigeria down
you're
here.
going to confuse
You are going
the
to
viewer.
confuse
So
the
we are
viewer.
trying to make
So
it
we are
the
trying to make
viewership
it
very very
the
easy
viewership very very
for
easy
whoever it is
for
that is
whoever it
going to
is
be
that is
reading that
going to be
thing at
reading
that
that
point
thing
in
at
time,
that point in time.
right?
Right?
So then we have
So then we
composition.
have
So what does
composition.
composition
So what does
involves?
composition
Composition
involve?
involves
Composition involves
arranging elements within
arranging
a
elements
layout
within a
for
layout
what?
for what?
Visual harmony.
Visual harmony.
Visual harmony.
Visual
So
harmony.
and to
So
be able
and
to
to be
achieve
able to
composition,
achieve
which is the
composition,
final
which is
guideline,
the final
is
guideline, is
it involves
it involves
balance,
balance,
contrast,
contrast,
focal points
focal
are
points
all
are
key
all key
um, key consideration.
um,
So
key
typography
consideration.
and layout
So
in
typography
CorelDRAW, which
and
we have
layout
done
in
today.
CorelDRAW, which we have
Today's
done
practical
today.
exercise
Today's
took
practical
us into
exercise
CorelDRAW where we
took us into
applied
CorelDRAW where we applied
typography,
typography,
layout principles,
layout principles,
and we had the opportunity to
and we had the
create
opportunity to
text-based
create
design.
text-based
So this
design.
is just a very
So this is
simple
just a very
text-based
simple
design
text-based
and
design
explore the use
and
of
explore the
grids,
use of
alignment,
grids,
white space, and
alignment, white
composition.
space, and composition.
So
So
I before
I
we went into all
before we
this, I was
went
talking
into all
about
this, I was talking about
alignment to the left, alignment
alignment
to
to
the
the
right,
left, alignment to the
alignment to
right,
the center.
alignment to the
So
center.
we are going to just
So we are going
apply
to just
this design
apply this
in
design
three various forms.
in three
But
various
before I do
forms.
that,
But before I
let me
do
say
that,
okay, let me
let me
make
say
it
okay,
let me make the design more
let me
exciting.
make the design more
Let me just
exciting.
give it a bit of
Let me just
color,
give it a bit
right?
of color.
So it wouldn't be that we are
So it wouldn't be that we are
just designing. So I'm going to give it
just designing. So I'm going to
this
give it
green color.
this green color.
Let me remove
Let me
all
remove
our
all our
lines.
lines.
I'm using this dark. I think you're not really going to see
Not
this
really
color
going to see
because
this color.
the kind of green I have
Kind
here.
of green I have here.
Let me copy a green
Let me
from
copy a
outside
green from
here.
outside here.
I'm using
I'm
my
using
color
my
eyedropper.
color eyedropper.
So I will explain
So I
that
will explain that
just chill.
just chill.
Alright.
Alright.
So there's this tool here
There's
that's
this
called the
tool
color
here
eyedropper.
that's called
Color
the
eyedropper
color
tool.
eyedropper. Color eyedropper
You
tool.
can use the color
You can use
eyedropper
the
to
color
select
eyedropper to
colors from
select colors from
outside our
outside
design.
our
Right.
design.
If I want to select from my
If I want
desktop,
to
I
select
just
from
click
my
select from
desktop, I
desktop
just
and I
click
can
select from
select
desktop
tap
and I
from
can
this
select
red,
tap
this
from this
green,
red,
whatever color I
this
have
green,
here.
whatever color I have
I
here.
can use any of them. So
I
if
can
I
use
click
any
on
of
this
them. So if
green
I
now, I
click
can
on this
just
green now, I can just
once you tap on the color, you come
once you
in
tap on
and
the
you can
color, you
paste.
come in and you can paste.
Right, I can just paste
Like you can just paste
as I
as
please.
I please.
Alright, so I'm going to
Right, so I'm
make
going
all
to
these ones
make
have
all
the
these ones
darker
have
green.
darker green. So
if you notice, I
you
applied
notice I applied
contrast in color and
contrast in
contrast in
color
shape
and contrast in shape
in just this
in
design.
just this design.
So we might,
So we
let me see
might
if I can make this
let me see if
background
I can
another
make this
color.
background another color.
It's not really working. So
Not
see what
really
I'll do.
working.
I'll
So
give you
what
this
I'll do,
dark
I'll
color, then
give you
I'll
this
go into
dark
my
color, then I'll go into my
interactive fill tool
interactive field to
and look for a lighter
look
version
for a
of blue.
lighter version of blue.
Very, very light version.
Very light version.
Alright,
Alright.
like this.
Like this.
So
So
I said
I
we were
said
going to make
we're going to make
different variation
different
of
variation of
this design, right?
this design, right?
So I'll just group
So
it
I'll
and
just
reduce
group
the
it and
size.
reduce the size.
So I'll duplicate
So I'll
it into
duplicate
3.
it into 3.
So we'll see the
So we'll
arrangement of
see
this
the
design
arrangement of this
when we are
design.
following
When
right,
we're following
when we are
right,
following
when we're
centralized,
following centralized,
and when we are
and when
following
we are
for
following for
um,
um,
center
center
arrangement.
arrangement.
Maybe I should just do
Maybe I should
2.
just do 2.
I think I'll just stick
I
to
think I'll
2.
just stick to 2.
So that
So
you
that
understand why
you
we
will
said
understand why we
if
said
you are going with
if you are going
just
with
center
just
arrangement, you
center
stick to that.
arrangement, stick to
If
that.
you're going with
If you're
left
going with
side
left
arrangement, you stick
side
to that also.
arrangement, you stick to that
So I'm going
also.
to ungroup
So I'm
this
going to
one.
ungroup this one.
So now, if
So
I want
now,
to make a
if I want to
centralized
make a
arrangement, so when we're
centralized
talking about
arrangement, so when we're
center,
talking about
it
center,
means that I have to
it means
move
that I have to
these
move these
logo items
logo
to the center
items to
of the
the center
paper,
of
right?
the paper, right?
So I'll group them,
So I'll group
Control
them,
G,
Control G,
and I'm going to bring it
and
to the
I'm going
center
to
of
bring
this.
it to the center
Now,
of
I've
this.
told you that you
Now,
can use
I've
your
told you
mouse
that
and
you
bring
can
it to
use
the
your
center,
mouse
right?
and bring
By
it to the center, right? By
dragging the item to the
dragging the
center.
item to the center.
But you might not
But
really
you
be
might not
sure that
really
it's
be
moving to
sure
the
that it's
center.
moving to the
So
center.
an easy way
So
to
an
do
easy
that,
way to
as I
do
told
that,
you
as I
yesterday,
told you yesterday,
when you have grouped
when you
this
have grouped
particular
this
one, group
particular
them
one,
together,
group
Ctrl
them
G,
together, Ctrl G,
you can
you
tap
can
on it and
tap on
hold
it and
shift,
hold shift,
tap on this box
tap on
also
this
and
box
click
also
letter
and
C.
click letter C.
So letter C
Letter C
brings it directly to
brings
the
it
center,
directly to the center.
right? So if you
Right?
notice
So
now,
if you notice
as this
now,
logo has come
as
to the
this
center,
logo has come to the
immediately
center,
the design is already
immediately
losing
the design is
structure,
already losing structure,
whereby it's
whereby
making,
it's
you are
making
seeing like an
you are
empty
seeing like
space
an
here. You are
empty space
realizing
here.
that
You are
there's an
realizing
empty
that
space here.
there's an empty
Even
space
though
here.
there was a
Even though
space here
there
before,
was
you
a
were not
space here before, you were
realizing it
not
because they were
realizing it
all
because
aligned to the
they were
left.
all aligned to the
So
left.
what we
So
have to do is you have to
what you
bring
have to
these
do is
ones
you have to
also
bring
to
these
the
ones
center,
also
every
to the
single one of
center.
them,
Every single one of them
to the center
to the
also.
center
Now
also.
we can't leave this
Now we
text
can't
this
leave
way,
this text this way,
this centralized
this
way.
centralized way.
The alignment of
The
the text there
alignment
is at
of
the
the
left.
text
So
there
for
is at
this
the
one,
left.
we
So
have
for
to
this
now
one, we
come
have to
here,
now come here,
change it to a
change it to
center
the center
arrangement.
arrangement.
And even for a
And
center
even for a
arrangement, the
center arrangement,
arrangement
the
is not still
arrangement
proper.
is not still proper.
So just
So
having one
just
set
having
down
one
here is not
set down
nice. So I
here
have to
is
come
not
back
nice. So
here,
I have to come back
maybe
here,
and take there
maybe and
and
take
bring
there
it
and bring it
down so that we
down
have like
so that
two.
we have like two.
Right, so this way
Right, so this
it's
way
looking
it's
more
looking
proper.
more proper.
Then we'll bring this
Then
one
we'll
also
bring this one
towards
also
to the
towards
center,
to the center
also
also
like this.
like this.
Right, so this is the
Right, so
center
this is the
arrangement.
center
Now
arrangement.
let's
Now
say this
let's
whole
say
body here
this
is
whole
arranged
body here is arranged
centralized and here is
centralized
still at left.
and
So
here
you
is
see
still
that
at
it's
left.
the
You
design
see
is the
that
design
this
is looking
design
off,
is looking off,
right? So we
right?
have to make sure
So
that
we have to make sure
everything,
that
if we are
everything,
going for a
if we
centered
are going for a
arrangement,
centered
we go for that kind.
arrangement, we go for that
But
kind.
I told you
But I
about
told you about
the kind of
the kind
balance we
of
use,
balance we use,
symmetrical and asymmetrical.
symmetrical and
Right, I
asymmetrical.
showed you the kind of
Right, I showed you
arrangement.
the kind of
So
arrangement. So
there are some
there are some
times we might
times we
apply
might
whereby
apply
there are some
whereby there are some
arrangements where we put
arrangements
some
where we
items to
put
the
some
left,
items to
we
the
arrange
left,
some to the right.
we arrange some to
But
the right.
most times to have
Most
like a
times
very
to have
clean
like a very
design, it's
clean
better
design. It's
most times
better most
that
times
okay, if you
that
are
okay,
arranging all
if
your
you are
items to
arranging
the
all your
left,
items
you
to the
stick
left,
to that.
you stick to
If you are
that.
arranging all
If
the
you are
items
arranging
to
all
the
the
right, you
items
stick
to
to
the
that
right,
also.
you stick to
So
that
for
also.
that reason,
For that reason,
I'll move all
I'll
these
move
items
all
to
these
the
items
center
to the center
also.
also.
Now it's not still
Now it's
proper,
not still
right?
proper,
So
right?
meaning I have to
So meaning I
ungroup
have to
this
ungroup this
because they were
because
grouped
they were
before,
grouped before,
ungroup them
ungroup them
and
and
make this
make this
come to the center
come to the
also.
center also.
So you will just tap
So
them
you
and
just
select what is
tap
in the
them
center
and select what is in the
already.
center already.
So you know, as you can see
So
now,
you know, as you can see now,
this part
this
of this
part
text is
of this text is
they are not really
they are not
arranged
really
properly.
really arranged properly.
Like here, you can see
Like
here
here,
is
you
kind
can
of
see here is kind of
straight, while the other side
straight, while
is
the other side is
bending. So what we'll do is
bending.
we'll
So what
tap
we'll
on
do
this
is
one
we'll tap on
also.
this one also.
and go to our
and go to
text
our text
tool and make it
tool and make it
centralized also.
centralized also.
So this way
So this
it's
way
better.
it's better.
This is what we mean
This is
by
what we mean by
arranging design
arranging
properly.
design
So
properly.
if you are going for
So
a
if you are
left
going for a
alignment,
left
you should stick to
alignment,
that.
to
If
that.
you are going for
If you are
right
going for
alignment,
right
you are also going to
alignment,
stick
you
to
are
that.
also going to stick to
So
that. So
we just applied
we just
almost
applied
all the rules that we
almost
have
all the
learned.
rules that we have learned.
Just simple
Just
rules that we are
simple
learning.
rules that
So
we are learning. So
design is easy,
design is
right?
easy,
It's just
right?
that
It's just that
sometimes we don't
sometimes we don't
remember the rules that you were taught.
remember
So
the
if you
rules that you
remember
were
the
taught.
rules, you
So
remember
if you
that
remember
okay,
the rules, you remember that okay,
I've finished
I've
designing. Let me
finished
check out
designing.
for all
Let me
these
check
little
out for all
little
these
aspects.
little
Are my
aspects.
designs
Are
aligned
my designs
properly?
aligned properly?
Am I applying
Am
hierarchy
I
where I'm
applying
supposed to?
hierarchy
Am I
where I'm
using
supposed
kerning
to?
and tracking properly?
Am I using
So
kenning
if you
and
remember
tracking
when I
properly?
typed
So
welcome
if you
to
remember
Save
when I
Nigeria,
typed welcome to
the
Save
spacing in
Nigeria,
between, that's
the
the
spacing
tracking
in
space
between,
in
that's
between,
the
was
tracking
so
space
much.
in between,
So I had
was
to
so
what?
much.
Reduce it.
So I have
So
to
you
what?
check out for
Reduce
all
it.
those things.
So you check
Then
out for all
also
those
I
things.
checked out for
Then
my
also I
hierarchy.
checked out
So
for my
we said the
hierarchy.
rule of
So
hierarchy is
we
that
said the
the
rule of
most
hierarchy
important
is that
aspect of the
the
design
most important
should be
aspect of
made
the design
bigger than the
should be
others,
made
right?
bigger than the
So
others, right?
welcome to Save
So
Nigeria
welcome
is
to Save
the focal
Nigeria
point,
is the
right?
focal
Is the
point,
focal point of the
right?
design.
Is the focal
So
point
we
of the
weighed
design.
welcome to Save
So we
Nigeria to
made
be bigger
welcome to
than
Save
every other
Nigeria to be
aspect of the
bigger than
design,
every other
right? How did we
aspect of
do
the
that?
design,
We had
right?
to apply
How did we do that?
hierarchy of
We had to apply
weight.
hierarchy of
Now, what
weight.
is weight? We mean
Now,
the
what
boldness
is
of the
weight? We
font.
mean the
So I made
boldness.
welcome to Save Nigeria
So I made
more
welcome to
bolder
Save Nigeria
than
more
every
bolder
other
than
text,
every
right? So I
other
use what?
text, right?
Gilroy
So I
heavy,
use what?
right? So if you look at this design, you realize that
Gilroy
it's only
heavy,
one font I
right?
used,
So if you look at this design, you
but
realize
all
that
the
it's only
fonts
one
are
font I
looking
used,
kind of a
but
bit
all the
different.
fonts are
It's because
looking
I use
kind of a
Gilroy
bit
heavy,
different. It's because
Gilroy
I use
medium,
Gilroy heavy,
Gilroy extra bold,
Gilroy medium,
Gilroy semi bold. They are of the same family, but they are not contradicting
Gilroy extra bold,
themselves.
Gilroy semi bold.
So
They are of the
apart
same
from
family, but
making
they are not
welcome to Save
contradicting
Nigeria have more weight, I also make it more bigger,
themselves. Have more weight. I
right?
also make it more
Reason
bigger,
being that I
right?
want that to
Reason being
drag the
that I
attention
want
of
that to
whoever
drag
is
the
seeing
attention
this
of
flyer.
whoever is
That should be
seeing
the
this
first thing
flyer.
that the
That should be
person
the
is
first thing
seeing,
that the person is
right?
seeing,
Then
right?
apart from
Then
that,
apart from
I
that,
now highlighted
I now
only
highlighted
Nigeria
only
and made it have
Nigeria
what?
and
The
made it
color
have
green,
what? The color green,
right?
right?
I made it
I
have the
made it
color
have
green.
the color green.
Reason being that so that
Reason being that so
when
that
you see welcome
when
to
you see
save, even that
welcome to
before you see
save, even
welcome
that
to
before
save,
you
you're
see
going to
welcome to
see
save, you're going to see
Nigeria itself
Nigeria
because
itself
it
because
has a
it
different
has
color. So
a
that
different
well
color. So that is
the
well
rule we apply
the
there is
rule we
what?
apply there is what?
Contrast in
Contrast
color.
in color.
All right.
All right.
So
So
if you now look
if
at
you
this
now look
design,
at
now
this
you
design, now
realize
you
that
realize that
the only color I
the
use
only
is just one
color I
color. I
use
use
is
just
just one
one
color. I
green,
use just one green,
but I created
but I created
various shade of
various
them.
shade
I
of
believe our
them.
next class
I believe
tomorrow
our
should
next
be
class
on
tomorrow should
color
be on
theory,
color
right?
theory,
So we'll
right?
now
So we'll
explain
now explain
the various
the various
aspects on
aspects
colors.
on
How do we
colors.
use
How do we use
analogous color,
analogous color,
um,
um,
contemporary, split
contemporary,
contemporary?
split
Then
contemporary?
you
Then
understand
you understand
how to
how to
select color
select
actually.
color
Okay,
actually.
now today you
Okay,
have
now today
understood
you have
how to
understood how
arrange
to
text
arrange text
properly.
properly.
If you now
If you now
understand how
understand
to
how
use the
to
right
use the
color
right
for the
color
right
for the
design,
right
you
design,
now realize
you
that
now
design is very
realize that
simple.
design is very
Design is
simple.
very sweet.
Design is very
So
sweet.
most times,
So
what
most
takes
times,
most of our
what
time
takes
in
most of our
design is
time
because
in
we
design is
don't know
because
what
we
right
don't know
text
what
to
the right
use. We
text
don't
to
know
use.
what
We
right
don't know
colors
what
to
the right
use.
colors to
So
use.
the
So
fact that
the
I
fact
already
that I
know,
already
okay, I want to
know,
use
okay, I
green.
want to
I
use
want to use
green.
a
I
color
want
for
to
the
use a
background.
color for the
I don't want
background.
to use
I don't
white,
want to use white,
but I can't
but
use
I can't use
green that is also
green that is
shouty,
also shouty,
right? So
right?
because of
So
that, I
because
have
of
to
that,
like
I have to like
find a
find a
faint color of
faint
that
color
particular
of that
green,
particular green,
which is going to work
which
with
is
it,
going to work with it,
right? So
right?
these
So
rules
these
are what
rules
you need to
are what you
apply,
need to
and when you
apply,
apply
and when
them,
you apply them,
you'll be able to
you'll be
like
able to like
create
create
design
design
easily,
easily,
right?
right?
So please,
So
here's what I want
please,
you to
here's
do
what I
for me.
want you to do for me.
If you
If
have not watched the
you have not
yesterday's
watched the
video, you
yesterday's
are going
video,
to
you are
go
going
back
to
to the
go
YouTube
back to the
account.
YouTube account.
Remember,
Remember,
subscribe. Some of you have
subscribe.
not
Some
yet
of you have not
subscribed,
yet subscribed,
and put on the
and put on
notification
the
bell.
notification bell.
Watch the
Watch
video.
the
You will
video.
see the
You will see the
classwork that we
classwork
did in
that we
class
did
yesterday,
in
which
class
is
yesterday, which is
about drawing
about
lines,
drawing
drawing box
drawing box
and changing
and
them.
changing them.
Try, for
Try
those who
for
already have
those
the
who already
software
have the
installed,
software
that's
installed.
something else.
That's something else.
Try and make
Try
the
and make the
assignment.
assignment.
And right now,
And
immediately
right
class is
now,
ending,
immediately
I'm
class
going
is
to like go and
ending,
try
I'm
and
going to
have
like go
lunch,
and try and have
right?
lunch, right?
Then I'll forward
Then I'll
the
forward
mail
the mail
immediately.
immediately.
Then
Then
this one that I'm
this
doing
one that
right
I'm doing
now
right now
is being
is
recorded
being
also.
recorded
I'm glad
also.
that I
I'm
recorded
glad that I
it.
recorded it.
So I'm going
So
to
I'm going
send the
to
video
send the video
again. So I
again.
think
So I
before
think
evening,
before
the
evening,
video should be
the
ready.
video should be ready.
So you are going
So
to have
you are
to.
going to have to.
There's some person that
There's
might
some
not
person
even
that might
really
not
need
even
to just
really
watch
need
the
to
video
just watch
again,
the video
because
again.
I'm going to
Because
try to
I'm going to
forward this
try to
picture
forward this picture
the WhatsApp
the
group.
WhatsApp group.
Yesterday I wanted to
Yesterday I
send,
wanted
but
to send, but
the file
the
hanged, so
file
I could
hanged,
not
so I could not
send the picture.
send the
So
picture.
these
So
two
these two
are going to be
are
another
going to be another
extra
extra
assignment.
assignment.
So please, you're
So
going to
please, you're going to
try them
try
out.
them out.
It might be
It might
difficult
be
at
difficult
the
at
instance,
the
but just try
instance,
them
but
out.
just
So
try them out.
the
So
font I
the
used here
font
is
I used here is
Gilroy. I
Gilroy.
believe you
I
don't have it
believe
on
you
your
don't have it
system,
on your
right?
system,
So
right?
you can use
So you can
Arial,
use Area,
right? So use
right? So
Arial.
use Area.
So for the
So
bold
for the
font, you
bold
use
font,
Area
you
Black,
use Area Black,
while for the normal
while for
font,
the
you
normal
use
font, you
Area
use
Regular,
Area Regular,
right? And
right?
I already
And
showed you
I
that
already showed
here
you that here
when we were talking
when we
about
were talking
font
about
type,
font
right?
type,
Where
right?
we have
Where
regular
we have
font
regular
and
font
we have
and
bold.
we have
So we
bold.
still have
So we
Area
still have
Black.
Area
So you can
Black.
use
So
Area
you can
Black
use
and
Area
Area
Black
Regular,
and Area Regular,
and you will be good to
and you
go.
will
So you
be
can
good to go. So you
replicate
can
this.
replicate
And this color that I
this.
used,
And this color that I used,
I think the green
I
is
think the
not
green
here.
is not here.
You can find the
You
green
can
if you're
find
using
the
the
green.
color.
If you're using
Use
the color,
RGB,
use
please.
RGB,
But you
please.
might not be able to
But
find
you
the
might not be
green
able to
here.
find the green
So
here.
what I did is
So
that
what
I
I did is
used
that I
my
used
color
my
eyedropper,
color eyedropper,
and I said
and I
select from
said
desktop,
select from desktop,
and I selected this
and I
green.
selected this green.
The green from
The
this my
green from this my
Windows
Windows
stuff here.
stuff here.
I would have told you
I would
the
have told you
Xcode,
the
but
Xcode,
right
but
now you have not
right now you
understood
have not
Xcode, what
understood
Xcode
Xcode, what
are.
Xcode
So
are.
it's tomorrow I'm
So
going to
it's
talk
tomorrow
about
I'm going to talk
Xcodes
about
and how to
Xcodes
get
and how
colors
to
using
get colors
Xcode,
using
right?
Xcode,
So
right? So
you just try and
you
do the
just try and do
assignments
the assignments
and start
and start
submitting,
submitting,
please.
please.
So we've come
So
to
we've
like
come to
the end
like
of today's
the end of
class.
this class.
So if you
So
have
if
maybe
you
a few
have maybe a
questions,
few questions,
we have 5 minutes
we have
left.
5 minutes left.
If anybody have
If
few
anybody have
questions,
few questions,
okay. You said
okay.
you
You
just
said
joined. Oh,
you just
12:18.
joined. Oh,
I
twelve
just joined
eighteen.
now. I'm
I
not too
just joined now.
following. Can
I'm
we
not
get
too
recording?
following.
Yes,
Can we get
I just
recording?
said
Yes, I just
the
said
class is being
the
recorded
class is
already.
being recorded already.
So I'm going to
So
end
I'm
the
going to
recording
end the
right now.
recording right.
So, but in the next five
So,
minutes, if anybody asks questions that they
but
want to
the
ask,
next 5 minutes, if anybody asks questions,
you can